محمد رسول الله اللهم صل وسلم بارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Very good to have you guys back. I appreciate you guys being here. I know after Ramadan it's our first meeting, so I appreciate you guys being here so late. I guess we need to discuss if everybody's still fine doing this program after Maghrib, but inshallah we can get to that at the end. Bismillah. So today, inshallah ta'ala, we'll get right into it because we don't have a lot of time. I wanted to discuss with you an important concept or theme after Ramadan or post-Ramadan. There's obviously a huge low, right? Right now in Ramadan, this place would be packed with maybe 300, 400 people. Now it has like 4, 5, 10 people, right? So there's obviously something that happens in Ramadan, outside of Ramadan, that I think we don't take advantage of. And I think even 2 weeks out, it's still important for us to discuss how to maintain Ramadan momentum. There's many things to discuss, but I always try to bring things back to the origin, at least some discussion we'll have today, about the origin or the purpose or the intent of Ramadan, inshallah ta'ala. You guys remember what the goal is of what the goal of Ramadan was? I think I mentioned it a little bit, but I think it's, every now and then somebody discusses it. What is the goal of Ramadan? Anybody remember? Anybody know? What was like the whole purpose of Ramadan for? Yeah? Self-control. Okay, very good. It's a very, very popular answer, by the way. Good. That's a part of it, yeah. For sure. Yes? Yes? Taqwa is very, very important. Very, very good. Excellent also. Very good. What else? All branch things, by the way. Not that it's not that any of your fault, but taqwa, for example, so self-control comes from fasting. The association is always between Ramadan and fasting, right? But is the goal of Ramadan the fast? No. The goal of fasting is taqwa, that's for sure. But that becomes one part of Ramadan, right? Not the entire purpose of Ramadan. Why is the entire reasoning behind Ramadan special? Why is Ramadan special? Oh, wait, and then I'll give you the answer. Yes?
Okay, I'm not entirely sure if this is right, but it's kind of a month that brings us all together for one purpose almost.
Very good. So all of these are important means to the goal of Ramadan. So fasting and self-control is an important means to a goal. Bringing people together is an important means to a goal. Doing prayer, important means to a goal. The Quran, which is very important, is an important means to the goal, right? So all these are part of means. But it's actually very explicitly mentioned in the Quran when Allah mentions Ramadan. By the way, how many times did Ramadan mention in the Quran? Anybody know? How many times is the word Ramadan mentioned? It's actually only mentioned once. In the entire Quran, it's only mentioned once. So Allah actually tells us to do Ramadan one time. And you know what's amazing? Everybody does it. Right? Just by the number of people that are usually in here. Like Ramadan is pretty self-explanatory. Like everybody just, lights come on, everybody does Ramadan. Right? Lights turn off, everybody stops doing Ramadan. But the goal of Ramadan was the intent. Alright? The goal of Ramadan is, Allah says, Shahru Ramadan. Ramadan is special because Allah gave the Quran. And I think I mentioned this. If not, I apologize. It's okay to talk about Ramadan after Ramadan. We always have this like lock. You don't talk about Ramadan in Ramadan. You can't talk it out. That's just not true. But Ramadan is special because Allah gave all revelation in the month of Ramadan. Right? You guys have heard that before? Every single revelation that was given to man came in the month of Ramadan. So Allah chose Ramadan as being the momentous celebration or ceremony, the month of ceremony of giving guidance to humanity. Why is that important? The last form of guidance that was given is what Muslims believe to be the Quran. And the Quran came in the month of Ramadan. So Allah says, Shahr Ramadan, alladhi unzila fihi al-Quran. What's the purpose of Quran? Huda lin-nas wa bayyinati min al-huda wal-furqan. The purpose of Quran is to guide humanity. Huda lin-nas. And a part of guidance is another layer of guidance which the Quran wants to give you is bayyinati min al-huda And then another layer of guidance on top of that is called Al-Furqan. I'll explain them very quickly because this is not the discussion for that. It's not what I intend to talk about. But there's usually like 3 layers. It's not layers, but there's 3 like levels, if you will, of guidance. One level is, and I can explain this to something I know decently well. And maybe you guys will know something pretty well in your own sphere. Everybody has different understandings of different things. And it's weird and crazy how deep something can go. For example, I like to do sports. Football is very, very general. Like the masses understand football as an American sport where people wear shoulder pads and they throw a ball and people hit each other, right? If you're at a decent level of understanding, you might know some names, some teams, some cities, and kind of the general, like how many points is a touchdown? I asked the girls because I think, you do not know? Okay, very good. So you're at the very, very top level. You're not very deep in the knowledge of football. For example, but a touchdown is 6 points. Maybe people don't know that, right? So whatever. So that's some layer. So football, all guys, maybe some names, some teams. At a middle level, there's people that understand, if you will, a deeper level. There's people that understand like every player, every team. They're obsessed with playing fantasy football. Like they're diehards. They might go to a game, right? They watch it on a Sunday. They won't go out with their family because they need to watch the game, right? There's different layers of this attachment and understanding of football. Somebody throws a pass, somebody runs the ball, sweep, touchdown, field goal, don't go for it, call timeout, these kind of things. And then at a very, very much deeper level, there's like the difference between a trap block and a sweep. What is the A gap or B gap? What's a middle linebacker blitz? What does it mean to throw a soft zone on one side and go a cloud on the other side and a sky on one side? What are those? What are you talking about? You'd be like, no. I understand the difference between an option route of a curl in a cover 3 and a hitch in a cover 2. Like I understand the difference. Like, wait, what the hell are you talking about? Is that football? Like, yeah, it's football. But there's layers to this conversation, right? There's many different layers. Like I didn't understand all of that. I just thought of stupid people running around hitting each other in tights. You see the difference? Allah tells us that there's generally 3 levels of guidance in life. See, Allah doesn't care about football. He cares about our understanding and our direction in life. And He says, look, I give you guidance, and there's people that understand it at different levels. So there's people that are generally guided. Huda linnas. Like I am just trying to get people generally on the path towards me. Because the entire goal of life is to go back to Allah. But on that path, there's different layers to that. Okay, that's general discussion. We can talk about this a little bit more. It's not the point. The point is, Ramadan is not the marathon. Many people say that. Ramadan is a marathon. Hey guys, Ramadan's a marathon. Ramadan's a marathon. Ramadan's not the marathon. Life is the marathon. We run on the path of guidance until we die. Or we try running until we die. The marathon is life, and Ramadan is only a bend. It's the centrifugal force, if you will, of life. So it's a bend. When you're on the racetrack and you're a straightaway, you don't have much momentum. But when you get on a bend and you turn and you are kind of pushed forward, that gives you that momentum forward. That's what Ramadan is. Ramadan is an event, and events are meant to give you momentum, to keep you going, right? That's the whole point of days like Ramadan, or events like Hajj. These are just meant to push us a little bit more, right? So how do we take advantage of that, though? You guys know what some typical, any engineers in here? No engineers. No engineers. Oh, man. So there's, momentum. The equation for momentum is what?
I knew that when I was in 10th grade, maybe.
Okay, you knew that when you were in physics, right? The equation for momentum is mv, mass times velocity, okay? So momentum is predicated based on, if you will, your mass and your speed of movement, the speed that you're moving at, which is velocity, okay? So if you think of it in a particular sense, in Ramadan, we as individuals are at our peak in terms of mass. Talked about it in our heart class, right? Like, is your body more healthy any time other than Ramadan? No. Is your soul stronger any other time than Ramadan? No. In Ramadan, it's the strongest. Your health is the best. Your heart is the purest. Your mind is the cleanest. You're like, you've reached probably the best of the entire year. Your peak state is Ramadan, right? Anybody disagree? More or less. So your mass is the highest. So you want high velocity. High mass. And then your velocity is the fastest. Meaning you're doing the most out of any other month in Ramadan, right? Has anybody fasted any days of Shawwal? I personally have not. I'm dead. I promise to start tomorrow to do my 6 days. But like you're like, it was really easy to fast for 29 days, right? We did 29 this year, right? It was just like, it was smooth. Then after that, I was like, I'm contemplating every morning. Bagel, fasting. I'm not sure. Eggs, coffee, fasting. So it's a battle every day, even though for 29 days it was so easy because we were doing so much. Coming to the masjid at 10:30 at night, 10:15, 10 o'clock, whenever Aisha is. You'd be like, I have to think about this. Like, do I want to leave my house at 10? Whereas in Ramadan, you were perfectly fine going home at 5 o'clock in the morning, right? So there is this force that we're given, this velocity that we're given in Ramadan. What stops the force? What's the difference between Ramadan and outside of Ramadan? Really one thing. Yes?
Well, because of the idea, the fact that, in Ramadan, the ajr and thawab is muda'af like 10 times.
So very good. That's an excellent point, by the way. Is this something that people know or don't know?
Yes, they know.
We do know it, for sure. Like, do I know for sure that I got the double amounts in Ramadan?
No, we don't.
No, I don't. Do I know for sure that outside of Ramadan, I can't get those double amounts?
No.
So, technically, you can get the reward of Ramadan outside of Ramadan. Yes, you can, I think, right? Because who's in control?
Of what you do, you.
Of the multiplying of deeds?
Allah.
Allah. And do we know? No, we don't. Okay, so very good. So the point being that I don't really know if my deeds are being multiplied in Ramadan or if they're even more than Ramadan outside of Ramadan. I believe that Allah can reward you for things outside of Ramadan much more than it is in Ramadan, outside of Laylatul Qadr, because that's a little bit of an exception. But in general, why can't He? Could. If it was done in such a way that was so sincere and such a hard thing, of course. So I like your answer, but I just wanted to challenge it because that's the answer everybody gives. What is the difference between Ramadan outside of Ramadan? Yes?
So in Ramadan, the whole ummah is like kind of mandated to fast. So we feel like you're in a group, which makes it easier.
Oh, okay, but the whole ummah is mandated to pray every day. Why is it empty for Aisha?
They pray at home.
No, I can fast at home.
I think it's just that, when everybody's doing it, it's just easier,
Okay, so one thing that doesn't get to my heart of my talk, because I could give you guys a whole bunch of things all day, but the heart of my talk is about the one thing that changes is shaitan, the devil. The devil is not out in Ramadan, but he is outside of Ramadan. Right? So the devil is one of the issues that hits us after. So momentum is mass and velocity. So if I'm moving extremely fast, there's a lot of momentum. What happens outside is that after Ramadan ends, why does the momentum stop? Because Shaitan told Allah. By the way, you ask for the path of guidance, Ramadan's goal. You ask for that goal every day, 70 times a day by saying, Ihdina. Ihdina, 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 right? Imagine you have a course, imagine you have a class that's 5 times a day, and in that class, you have to repeat 17 times the same line and learn the same line over and over and over and over. You'd be like, man, I'm never taking that class or professor again. But that's Al-Fatiha, right? That you do ihdina, you say ihdina 17 times a day. Ramadan is all about hidayah, guidance, the path to Allah. So on this path to Allah, Shaitan, something really interesting, Surah Al-A'raf, you should go through the story. It's a really nice chapter as well. It's a very, very nice surah. Allah Azza tells us when Shaitan had this whole conflict with Adam, Allah told Shaitan bow to Adam, the whole story. He didn't bow. Then Allah tells him, look, get out of here, you're disgraced. He says, please, he begs, please don't punish me until the end of time. He says, fine, you're not going to be punished until the end of time, who cares? And then Shaitan says something very particular here at this point. He says, Ya Allah, bima aghwaytani. Ya Allah, look, you deceived me in this entire test. And that's one of the reasons why shaitan is a really, really bad person. You deceived me, so he says his strategy in attacking human beings. He says, لَأَقْعُدَنَّ لَهُمْ صِرَاطَكَ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ Surah Al-A'raf, verse 16. Shaitan says, Ya Allah, I will attack humanity. I will destroy humanity. My revenge, my vengeance for humanity, my hatred for humanity will want me to destroy them. I don't, if somebody wants to kill you, like we're afraid of trolls on Instagram or on Snapchat, right? Like you get, if somebody like message you on Snap, disgusting selfie, you're like, oh my God, my life is, why was such an evil human being? Imagine a troll like outside that wants to kill you. Imagine somebody that wants to kill you outside. You're like, oh my God. But imagine an enemy that wants to destroy your existence, your eternity. That's the battle with shaitan. So shaitan says, I hate them so much, Ya Allah. I am لَأَقْعُدَنَّ لَهُمْ صِرَاطَكَ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. I am going to sit on the highway directly to you. So the highway that goes to you, Ya Allah, I will sit right on it and I am going to do all my work on it. People think the devil operates in these really bad places. Clubs, bars, I don't know, really, really inappropriate places where evil things happen, bad things happen. Whereas the devil doesn't really work there. The devil works on the path and people getting on the path towards recovery. Like he doesn't care about the druggie. He cares about the drug rehab center. He doesn't care about the alcoholic or the bar. He cares about the alcoholic rehab center. He doesn't care about the sinner all the way out there. He cares about the place where the person is going to repent from the sin. That's where he's going to put his work. Sirat al-Mustaqim. The path that we ask for 17 times a day, that's where shaitan hits you. So shaitan sits, meaning like I'm going to sit there or I'm going to double down on there. Meaning I'm going to double down my efforts in misguiding people off of it. That's where I put my work. Then he gives the strategy. And it's really important to know the strategy. Nobody goes into war without strategy. You don't go into a fight without strategy. You don't go into a football game without a strategy. I mean, in football, football season's coming around. Maybe that's why I'm mentioning it. In football, just to give you guys an example, like their lives are football. You think they play only just the 2 hours of the game? They spend maybe like 90 hours studying the other opponent during the whole week, right? They're literally 6 o'clock in the morning till 10 p.m. practice and video and tape and plans, right? For 6 days. So 6 times 10 or 12 hours, they're spending maybe 70, 80 hours planning against one team for 1 week for a 2-hour, 3-hour game. Can you imagine somebody that wants to destroy your hero, like he wants to annihilate you, and you don't even realize you're in the fight? Big problem. So how does shaitan fight us? So he says it very clearly. He says, I will sit on the path, and then I'm going to attack them from 4 sides. ثُمَّ لَآتِيَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ وَعَنْ أَيْمَانِهِمْ وَعَنْ شَمَائِلِهِمْ. I'm going to talk about these 4 things for the rest of the talk, and I'll let you guys go. Okay? Why does Ramadan's momentum die out? Because shaitan comes back. He has an amazing strategy that nobody realizes or understands to counter. Let me give you guys an example. Come, Mu'ad. Mu'ad is my pal. How are you doing, Mu'ad? Hi, Mu'ad is on the highway, is on a path going really fast towards guidance, the path of guidance, towards Allah, right? So if you're on this path and you're full steam, it's really easy, right? No effort, no resistance, no force acting against you. Now if Mu'ad is running full speed at me, run full speed, Mu'ad, and I just hit him from the front, is it a very, very bad accident? Where's the worst accident possible while you're driving? Somebody hit you from the front. Is there any worse way to die? A car coming full speed at you as you're going full speed at it? It's the worst, it's the greatest force possible. In Ramadan, you can sit next to me. Are you okay? Are you comfortable here? All right, very, very good. In Ramadan, every human being is going very fast. At least those that did Ramadan well. Everybody's going really fast. Where does shaitan hit first? He hits from the front. ثُمَّ لَآتِيَنَّهُمْ I will attack them. مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ literally means between their hands, meaning like the front. Okay, between their hands meaning their front. Okay? Like this is my front, between my hands. Alright? So he's going to hit you from the front. How does shaitan, with all this momentum, what does it mean that he hits you from the front? So now we need to do some critical thinking. How does shaitan hit from the front? So again, people have this momentum, they're energetic, they're doing a lot of good, and then all of a sudden shaitan attacks from the front. What does it mean that shaitan attacks from the front? By the way, just as a premise, does the devil have any power over people?
No.
No. Is the human being stronger or the devil?
Human.
Human, without a doubt, stronger than the devil. That's how Allah created us. Allah created us stronger than the devil. What does the devil have in terms of power?
Words.
He has what we call waswasa, what is known in Islamic terminology as whispers, or inclinations, or kind of this concept of throwing things in your way. Okay, that's all he does. Does the devil control people? Does he possess people? No. Very good. So how does the devil attack people from the front then? So go back to this concept. ثُمَّ لَآتِيَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ I'm going to attack them from the front. What does that mean?
It's gonna put them back to where they were, or to get back all their
So if I have lots of speed, what is he going to do to me?
He's gonna try to
Stop me. Okay. How does he stop me though? There's no car, guys. Like, what is his metaphorical car? Put stuff in your way. Okay, like
Something that you want.
something that you want. Okay, good. By the way, where's this highway going? It is Sirat al-Mustaqim. And it's going to Allah, right? So we're agreeing on that. Okay, very good. So if he hits me from the front, what does he want me to stop? From going to Allah. Okay, how? What does that mean? So what does he put in front of you? Weaknesses, very cool, interesting. Like, can you guys be a little bit explicit if you don't mind?
Spend a lot of money.
Okay, so weaknesses in spending money. Okay.
Drinks.
Sarah?
Eats a lot. I was gonna say, I'm gonna like jump off of that. Like, he doesn't make you lazy, but in a way he kind of tempts you not to do things as much.
Excellent. I'm gonna emphasize on that point. So he'll make you procrastinate.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Stay sleepy.
Interesting. Good. All right. What else? Mu'adh, you can help us.
Drinks.
Drinks?
Like, your friends are gonna go out to a bar and you didn't see it coming, and then they take you.
Okay, so follow your friends, fall into mistakes that are in front of you,
Yeah.
temptations. Okay, good. Anything else? Okay, but you're going to have a problem. By the way, all of these things from the front, but so I'm going to talk about. So what's the back? Let's talk about the back then. How does shaitan, so Mu'adh is going full speed ahead, and all of a sudden, what is shaitan doing? ثُمَّ لَآتِيَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ. So somebody's going full speed, and all he's doing min khalfihim, from their back, is literally, how's he slowing down their momentum? He's pulling them back. Very, very good. In some way, he's hindering them from the back. What does that mean? Yes?
Kind of, they say you are the type of people that you hang out with.
Okay.
Bad friends who bring you down and take you further from Allah than you're supposed to go. Like they tempt you to do stuff.
So friends that are holding you
Your
down.
friends who hold you down, basically. They fight
Okay.
back with them instead of-
Is he throwing the friends on you?
No, but I mean, in a way, like we said, he whispers.
Okay. So he's inclining you to hang out with bad friends? Okay. Why is that from the back though? Why isn't that from the front?
Because I mean, from the front, I would just see them standing in your way, and so they're taking you down with them.
Okay, they're dragging you down. Interesting. Okay, good. Anybody else?
give you distraction.
Distractions are from the back or from the front? So you said it from the front. Now you're saying it from the back. Is it the same thing? Does he use the same techniques in both ways?
Making
Yes.
I think
Sure.
the trial could be the same regardless of which way it comes.
So why wouldn't he say, I just attack them? Why mention explicitly 4 different directions?
4 different directions because it could come in any different method, but the outcome would probably still be the same.
Okay, interesting. So you think he can attack from either way? Like I'm going to throw it left, right, center, straight.
Yeah, if you think about it, maybe like someone's family, say, they stop you from practicing Islam. Maybe that didn't work, so maybe he's going to be like, oh, they're just going to shun you now, so they're not going to talk to you. Or maybe they're going to talk to others to get to stop you. So
Okay.
It's still the same.
Multiple ways.
Yeah, multiple
Okay.
ways of doing the same thing.
Interesting. Okay, good. Very good. Very good. Okay, but if you have the concept of momentum and velocity, again, focusing on that concept. So if somebody has a lot of momentum, he stops them from the front. If somebody has a lot of momentum, he holds them from the back. And then last one, if somebody has a lot of momentum, so if Mu'adh is running towards me, and all I have to do, especially if he's going really fast, all I have to do is like a little push of my finger, and he's going to go. He's trying to go this way, but he's going to take a hard 90-degree angle into the wall. And I can do it from the left too. Mu'adh, you can come this way. If he's going full speed, go full speed this way. All I have to do is just push him. And now, is he on the straight path anymore? He's going, again, 90-degree angle to the wall. Very, very easily. Thank you, Mu'adh. That's very good. Right? So all I have to do, even though it could be a push, but it could be just a small push, that's enough for you to be thrown off your path, right? Especially if you're going fast or if you had a lot of momentum. So, what does the push from the right or left mean then? Why not just mention I'm going to push them? Or ثُمَّ لَآتِيَنَّهُمْ? Or why does he explicitly say in this conversation عَنْ أَيْمَانِهِمْ وَعَنْ شَمَائِلِهِمْ? Any idea? What is the right side? What is the attack from the right side? Any ideas? We're thinking outside the box. By the way, there's nothing clear. There's no clear text. I'll tell you guys what some scholars mention and what the companions mention, but the idea is that people engage this, like they thought about it. What does it mean? So I thought about it, and I'm going to share it with you guys some ideas. Anybody have any ideas? What is the right usually associated with? Yes, your good deeds. Very good, very good. So what does that mean? How does he attack you with your good deeds?
He's going to make you think that good things are bad and bad things are good.
Make you that good things are bad and bad things are good.
He's going to try to make you think the good things that, like, let's say salat, like, you're doing it correctly, you're probably doing it wrong.
Okay, interesting. So he's going to attack you with your good deeds.
Yeah.
Make you think that good is bad and bad is good. Okay, so what does he do from the left side then? It doesn't make sense. Okay, no, it's a good try. It's all right. It's okay to try, by the way. Yes?
Like your right side is your strengths, your left side your weaknesses.
Interesting. Okay.
The things that you're weak with will bring you down. They'll make you even worse.
Okay.
And then the things that you are strong with, like I guess keeping up with your slaw and everything, he'll bring you down from there as well.
That's very interesting. It's very good. Excellent. Good analysis. Yes?
Kind of along what she said, like maybe making your good deeds seem like they're really good to you, making you seem arrogant.
Okay. And the left is bad deeds?
Making you, I guess, because you're feeling arrogant, I guess, start doing some bad deeds, and because you have a lot of good deeds, you can start doing that.
Okay, very good, very good. You guys are almost on point. Very, very good. By the way, there's no right or wrong answer, as I mentioned. But I think the idea is to analyze, right? To understand the strategy. Like, what is going to happen to me? What am I being attacked with? And how and where and when. So it's important to understand that. So some of the things that many scholars mention, and I think some things just of reflection that we can discuss, especially on the concept of momentum. Because look, humans are always moving. We're always moving towards Allah. Like our life, everything is always moving. Nothing is ever stagnant. So we're always on our way to Allah. In Ramadan, we're getting a little bit extra momentum. But what slows us down, and by the way, everybody's on the way to Allah. Like everybody's on the path to Allah, but there's only Sirat al-Mustaqim is only one. Now, that doesn't mean that it's one little highway. It could be an expansive highway, right? Sirat doesn't mean like a small thing. It means it could be a huge thing. But as long as you're on this direction, you're okay. But there are many different directions, and that's why the Prophet ﷺ one day, he drew a line in the crowd. And he said, this is the right path. And then he drew lines coming out of it. And he said, these are paths that lead you astray, and on every single one of them is a devil. Meaning the paths, the wrong paths are many. They eventually all lead to Allah, but it doesn't mean you meet Allah in the best way. So, where does shaitan attack us? So this is what some scholars mention.
I'm sorry, you said that again? You said that they can lead you to Allah?
Everybody goes to Allah, right?
Even the one that goes, I'm talking about,
Meaning everybody dies and meets Allah, right?
okay, that's what you meant.
Yeah, everybody. I mean, everybody's highway ends in Allah. Doesn't matter if you landed over there, if you landed over there, if you landed over there. But Sirat al-Mustaqim, istiqama means the path that is properly treaded. It's the right path, right? So it kind of always translated as the correct path, right? But there are many other paths, right? So the path that is the best in meeting Allah Azza wa Jalla with. So what's the end? Here we go. So if he attacks from the front, the attack from the front is, again, think of directions. I am on my way towards Allah, or the hereafter. And I am expecting all these things to come. Right? My journey of life is on my way to the hereafter. So I am expecting to reach my destination, and I'm preparing for it. But the way for me to forget about where I'm going, he tries to, or from front, or many scholars mention, is he tries to cut you off or down from your direction or destination to reacting to what's in front of you right away. So you're cutting off the distance, you're cutting off the vision of where I'm going, and just allowing you to stay and only think about what's in front of you now. Meaning to cut you off from, some scholars mention, to cut you off from Allah, to cut you off from the hereafter, to cut you off from the understanding of it to come. What does that mean? In practical sense, the way I understand it, is that shaitan always has you playing defense to everything in life. You know how people live day to day? You just wait, they're waiting for things to happen. There's no strategy, there's no plan, there's no direction. It's not like, I know what I want to do, where I want to go, how I want to do it. It's just you reacting day to day. And reacting day to day, playing defense all the time with life, is really, really tiring. And you know what most people do? They're like, man, I'm just going to sleep as much as I can. It's really about it. I'm just going to, let me just play the game on my phone, like 15 hours. Like, who cares about where I'm going? Like, who really cares? Like, why do I care? I don't really care. Right? So what happens is that he destroys your vision of where you're going, and he allows you to only live in the now. And by the way, naturally, he'll throw things for you to be you know how humans always sacrifice short term for long term. Whether it's our health or our finances or, just the way we're set up is كَلَّا بَلْ تُحِبُّونَ الْعَاجِلَةِ. Like you would rather take what's now, وَتَذَرُونَ الْآخِرَةِ. And you wouldn't wait for what's later. Right? And I explained this to the kids the other day. I was like, how old can you live in life? You can live to 150? Let's say you live 150. 50 years just on a cane or in bed. 150 years in life. How many years are you going to live in the eternal hereafter? How many years? 1 trillion years. Okay. I told them, okay, guys, what's 100 divided by 1,000,000? Any math people? You take all the zeros of the million and you put them in front of the 1, right? And it's 0.00001. Okay, what's a billion? Okay, you take 9 zeros, you put in front of 1. Get the point? So if it's 1 trillion years and you lived 100 years on this life, why would you sacrifice because of 100 the trillion? That makes no sense. Math-wise, money-wise, business, it makes no sense in any way. But human beings are always sacrificing short-term for long-term. Like, I just want to feel happy now. So what? So what? It's a this or that or the other. Temptation, this or that. So you're willing to sacrifice, and that, even if it's bad things like sins, or if it's good things. I mean, we sacrifice potentially great things for little things. We'll sacrifice we don't want to be amazing. I'll just be okay. Like, I'm willing to sacrifice that because it appeases me on the short term. And that destroys people's success in this life and the next life. So he destroys your no vision, no direction, no purpose, no goals, no plans. So just live day to day. And in day to day, he'll destroy you. Okay. So how about from the back? It's all distraction. It's all, life is distractions, right? أعلم أنما الحياة الدنيا لعب وله وزينة. Right? All of life is distractions, but that's not a good, there has to be a strategy. من خلفي وعن أيماني وعن شمالي, right? اللهم اجعل من بين يدي نورا ومن خلفي نورا, right? Of course, good. Why? There are specific things. I mean, maybe we just don't think about them at a deeper level. From the back. So, by the way, can you give me very quickly 2 or 3 ways that you feel that this has happened to you, like, or just in general, practical? Like, how do you feel like or maybe you understand the concept of how you live short term instead of long term? Give me an example. Somebody give me an example. Yes.
Like, if your friends are going down a wrong path, you either go with them or.
Very good. Right. So my friends, they're gonna hang out here. I lose my friends. Oh my God, they're my boys. Oh my God, what are they gonna snap me if I don't go? Oh my God. Right. You're gonna think about all the things about the potential problem if you don't do what they want now. But what about in 10 years you don't even know who they are or where they exist? Like you don't even care about each other. But you're willing to sacrifice now for them? Like in 10 years, I guarantee you. Anybody in here still hang out with their elementary school friends? High school friends? Well, if you're in high school, that doesn't count. All right. Anybody hang out with elementary school friends? No, I was asking if you hang out with your high school friends. I was asking, anybody hang out with their high school friends? Junior high school friends? Like, a lot of their friends. So no, I'm not talking about 1 or 2 people. What's wrong, Zara? I'm not talking about 1 or 2 people. I'm talking about, like, if you had 20 friends, how many do you hang out with now from elementary school?
Like
3 out of 40?
I'm still really close with friends that I've met in 2nd grade. That's true. Yeah.
Okay, so 2nd grade, like how many?
2 of them.
2 of them out of how many?
Out of 2 of them.
No. How many friends did you have in 2nd grade?
I was not a friend with person out of 2 of them.
Okay, so let's get more. 5th grade, you had friends for sure. 5th grade, how many friends did you have in 5th grade? Like I was friends with the whole class, right? My whole 5th grade class, cool. But how many of them do I even talk to today? None. How many of them? And as you grow, you know what happens? You get stuck with your family. There's no friends. No, I'm just kidding. But that's true. That is true. But you realize that I was willing to sacrifice X, Y, or Z for these friends because they were so my boys. Oh my God. And in 5 years, I don't even know where the hell they are. No, that's good. That's good. But out of all your friends, you might have 2, not 20, not 50. Right? I mean, high school, I could tell you, man, I have I can name you 100 friends or acquaintances at least. Are they even important to me now? No. So, again, the sacrifice. I'm just giving you guys an example. Example with health. Like we don't think about eating something that's bad for you. Like you pick the nastiest, this most disgusting thing on earth to eat, and you just put some sugar on it. It's like, oh, free at Starbucks or free at whatever. It's like, and everybody runs in. It's a huge line, and it's not. Nobody's willing to say, hey, every time I eat sugar, I decrease a day of my life. Like every day that you eat over 30 grams of sugar, you will die a day sooner. You'd be like, wait, what? I'm like, no, I'm telling you. Would you be willing to cut down your sugar? I don't know, it tastes so good. Yeah, but you're cutting down so every day you have sugar. By the way, on average, we have more like 200-300 grams of sugar a day, right? It's astronomical. But let's just say 50 was the number for you to die a day. Like how many days you reduce today, because you want to live today, you're willing to sacrifice tomorrow. And this is the biggest problem with humans, is that this exchange, really bad, but shaitan works you well. By the way, the greatest distance is the hereafter. And the greatest short term is this life. So we're always exchanging them. The little things are just a compilation of the micro things. Does that make sense? Very good, yes?
But I think it goes to saying that you don't know if you have it tomorrow. So why
You don't know how you're supposed to live like that, but you don't. See, Ali Radhan, he said something beautiful. He said, live as if you live as if I'm going to be on earth forever. Meaning I'm going to plan, I'm going to do this, that, or the other. Like the entire map out is there. But I'm going to plan as if I'm going to live forever, but I'm going to live as if I'm going to die tomorrow. With that sense of urgency. My Friday khutbah is going to be on urgency. So how do you live with a sense of urgency like I'm going to die tomorrow? That's urgency. That is living with speed here, but understanding the patience for the long term. Make sense? Very good. So from the back, very quickly. From the back. What's the back? I'll give you guys an example. Shaitan loves to have people always live in the past. Reflect on the past. Stuck in the past. Always being held down. You ever felt like you want to move forward, but you're being held down? It could be by habits. It could be by people. It could be by, things you've done. Like there are things in your life like, I'm just held down by it. You feel like you're held down? All it is really a trap of habits, right? It's, for example, hey, I had a really amazing bagel at this place, or whatever, steak or whatever, and I'm going to go back to the place and I'm going to order the same exact thing. Why? Because the way I had it last time was exactly the way I want to have it right now, right? We only make, I drink coffee every day. I have my coffee the same exact way every day. Anybody ever change up their coffee every day? Like if you eat something every day, do you change it up every day? No, you most likely than not, you go to the same places because you've experienced something in the past. Or, you're always trying to relive the past. Some people are always stuck in the past. What somebody did to me 100 years ago, I can't live, I can't move. No. Some traumatic experience, I can't shake it. Like, you live in the past all the time, so you're stuck. And you always live in the past. Parents are really good at that, by the way. I'll give you guys an example of how. Parents remember every single mistake you've ever done in your life, remember? Like on April 29th, 2007, you know how you rolled your eyes at me? On February 13th, 1992, you were a kid and you screamed at me. No, I'm just saying, like, some parents are like, some parents. Let's just say some parents. You're like, what the heck? It's just, living in the past. Some people are so stuck to their past they can never move forward. So Shaitan makes it very easy for people to be, by the way, bad sins, bad habits, bad things you've always done, bad people you've always been around. How can you break out of it? Like, I'm just trying to get out, just trying to move forward. And he always pulls you back into them. And it's constant being stuck mode, okay? So front, back, right, left. I'll try to explain them quickly. Right definitely has to do, many scholars mention, with good deeds. Or doing good in general. But here's the concept of doing good. And I think Fatiha kind of describes this as well. And I'm going to use Fatiha as a source of reference for this. Fatiha talks about Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, right? Everybody knows this. But we never gotten too much deeper. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, sirat alladhina an'amta alayhim. So there's a path that Allah is talking about. By the way, beginning of Fatiha is about Allah. Then you ask Allah, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ya Allah, I need to get to you. And then you say, Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Like, I want to get to you. Right? That's the dua. And then when you talk about the past, this is a good thing about the past. Shaitan doesn't like this, is that you learn people's successes from the past and how they've made it on this path. That's why we say, every day we say, Sirat alladhina an'amta alayhim. Like people that did this thing, Ya Allah, make me like work like them. Like I want to follow in their footsteps. That's why you say, live on the footsteps of legends. So Fatiha is all about like tread the path of legends. Like those that came before you and they did it, you do it like them. Good. Then there's these two things that you don't want to do. Al-maghdubi alayhim wa ad-dallin. Don't make us from al-maghdubi alayhim wa ad-dallin. Very good. Right and left. Very simply. Who are al-maghdubi alayhim? Very quickly. Who is Allah angry with? So there's a very, very popular answer that I will explain in a second. But that's not, the meaning behind it is what's understood, not the people. Very, very, yes? People of the book, again, it's common explanation. By the way, there's a hadith on that. I'm going to explain the hadith.
I think it's just all the shuruf of the our prophets or our messengers that came and they disobeyed the prophet that was.
Okay, very, very good. Let's do this quickly. When are you angry at somebody? You personally. When do you get angry with somebody? When they do something? Okay, very good. What if they didn't know that thing was wrong? Would you be angry at them? Okay, what if they did that thing that you were angry about again? What if they did it again? What if they did it again? What does the anger boil over? What is the point of the anger? Where does the anger come from? The repetition or the inconsideration, yes, meaning that they knew and they did the wrong thing. Like they knew that it was the wrong thing. I get mad at my daughter. No, I don't get mad at her the first time. If she dropped something or she spilled something, she took the syrup and she poured it really badly all over the plate. I'm Maryam, that it's too heavy, don't do that. Please don't do that, honey. Next time ask me or I'll help you. The next day she took and she poured it all over again. Am I more angry? I'm a little bit more angry. The 3 years in every day, how angry am I? Like, what the heck is wrong with you, kid? That concept is al-maghdub alayhim. Those that know and don't do. Meaning they know what's right, and they have the mass, but they're not moving. They don't have the action. So they know what's right and they don't do it. This is when shaitan tricks people with doing good. When either they know and they don't do, or they know what's better and they do what's less. Like either way, shaitan is going to at the end of the day, I don't want you to be a millionaire. I just want you to have $1,000. Like if I can stop you from $1 million and winning $1,000, I'm fine with that. Like you lost, I'm happy. If 1,000 are bankrupt, I'm happy. If you're homeless on the streets, I'm happy. As long as you're not maximizing your good deeds, shaitan hates to maximize insan's good deeds. It's good. So he will do whatever it can to reduce the amount of good he has. One of the ways is that he replaces lesser good with greater good. Right? So you'll do a quick example. Do we have time? I don't know what. Quick example. I'm sitting down reading Quran. Okay, whatever. It's post Ramadan. You're like, Ya Allah, even Ramadan, Ya Allah. I'm trying to catch up on my Quran. So you open up, read the Quran, and you're sitting there, and your mom from, downstairs or whatever, she says, Abdullah, blah blah, come down and throw out the garbage. You're like, okay, I'm reading Quran. You sit down and read Quran, and then, Ya, come down and throw out the garbage. By the way, we don't even do Quran, right? Like we do games, makeup, YouTube videos. Like we do anything. I'm just giving you something that's good, right? We do much less than that. But I'm reading Quran. Leave me alone. You get the point? What is the point here? There is no comparison between obeying one, accepting or following your parent, and between reading Quran. There's no comparison in the good. But what he's done is he's mismarked prioritization. So prioritization is extremely important here. On this side, because we have to finish, so you understand that. So he will decrease your good, he'll have you know something and you don't do it. All of these things eventually leads to Allah being angry with somebody, right? Imagine every single time, you're supposed to be doing something really amazing and you do something really silly in its place. Somebody would be angry from that, because you know better. The other side is ad-dallin. Those that are kind of lost. I'll get to the explanation of the two groups that we mentioned. But ad-dallin are people that do what now? What is the other side? Why are they worse? Well, who said they're worse or bad? They're both not on a sirat. That's what we know. And we ask Allah not to be of them, because they're obviously not doing well. So why? What is ad-dallin? Ad-dallin, very quickly, are those that they don't know. Very good. Don't do. Ad-dallin are the reverse. They do things, but they don't know, or they don't have full knowledge of, or good awareness. I.e., sometimes that they switch. قل هل أنبئكم بالأخسرين أعمالا الذين ضل سعيهم في الحياة الدنيا وهم يحسبون أنهم يحسنون صنعا. There are people that they're always doing things and they think it's good, but it's really not good. I follow a lot of personal development people, gurus. On the beach, all these girls partying, guys, live a happy life, right? Or somebody, people doing the crazy things. This is how you attain happiness. And he'd be like, it looks like he's having fun, right? He's got cars, he's got girls, he's got parties, he's got drink. It looks like it's so much fun, but the reality is they're doing this like action, but it's incorrect actions. It's things that are glorified that are not supposed to be. And particularly here, as you mentioned very, very well, is particularly sins that are made to look better for you than others. right? So mistakes, bad things, that they looked really nice in your eyes, and you glorify them. And then it becomes attractive to you. And then as it becomes attractive, people get more and more indulged in them, and they just do them without even realizing, hey, it was wrong, by the way. But it just becomes so attractive. Mistakes. That's ad-dallin. That's how it attacks you from your sin. So you will think, for example, we don't think much of lying. Like lying is like drinking water. Like I drink water and I lie 5, 6, 10, 15, 19 times a day. It's kind of normal, right? I'm saying in general, you guys looking at me like I'm not saying I lie. I'm saying I lie, right? People are like, wait a minute, lying is not heavy to you? I'm like, really? Is it that bad? So you start to what? What do you start to do? Something that's really bad, it just becomes accepted or normal. It's like whatever. When you start to do that with bad things or deeds, and you start to live life like, hey, why is this wrong anyway? What happens is that you get extremely astray. You're kind of lost. You're so far into it, you're just lost completely. That's ad-dalli. The reference to, very quickly, so we can finish this point, al-Yahud wa Nasara, very quickly, because I think it's important for us to understand it. By the way, you could go into a Fatiha discussion or a tafsir, and you can understand it at a deeper level. But the reason why Allah mentions those two people, or those two communities, because they were the communities that came right before the Muslims. So Muslim community came, before that was the community that was from Bani Israel, and they were divided into two. There was those that followed Christ, and then those that claimed to do that, and those that followed or claimed back to Musa, right? Those two, essentially, many people have come and been misguided. That Allah's been angry with, or meaning they've done the wrong thing and they knew it, or they've been astray. But these two particularly, they were the last two. So the reason why we talk about them is like, look, this group, this community. By the way, it's clear that the Prophet ﷺ is talking about these people himself. We always think about Allah Yahdi. We say that very quickly, like somebody's misguided and he needs Allah. Well, actually, the Prophet is asking Allah Yahdina, right? So if the Prophet of God, like the greatest believer to the worst believer in history, is asking for guidance. So it's not just those that are quote unquote misguided that need guidance. Everybody needs guidance. Does that make sense? But in particular, that two groups of people that just made the mistake. Like if somebody just made a mistake, you point it out. Like this community that just came before you guys, hey, their bad habit was they knew what was right and they always didn't do what's right. And this community, they always were doing things, but they just didn't understand it too well. They were just doing the right things, and they were kind of naive about it. So don't do that. Don't do those two things. And that's why there's a reference to those two particular groups of communities. And it's not about the Yahud. It's about a particular understanding of this community and a part of its mistake. Does that make sense? It's a very, very specific description of the negative aspects of particular communities, and many communities. Allah doesn't care about what your community is, what race, what nationality, what religion. He cares about its ethics and its principles when it comes to guidance. That's all Allah cares about. Even the Muslims. Well, Adam, yes?
I always,
We have to pray, Aisha. Sah? Is it 10:10 or 10? 10:10. Oh, good. We have a couple minutes. Good.
growing up, I always thought that if you didn't know anything or if you didn't know it was wrong, Allah wouldn't necessarily hold it against you. That He would forgive you up until the point that you found out what you did.
Yes.
You continue to do it then.
Yes. It's a very important concept. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Rufi'at an ummati," my ummah is not, my community is not accountable for things that they don't know or things that they forgot. Previous communities might have had that legislation, that burden might have been upon them, but our community, it's not responsible for things that they don't know or things that they forgot. However, ignorance is not justification when it comes to being responsible for an action. So for example, if I just came from Amman or whatever, and I landed in the US, and I saw a red light, let's just say, I thought red light meant go. And I just went through the red light. The cop stopped me and he's like, oh, cop, Mr. Cop, I didn't know that. He's like, I don't care, here's your ticket. Don't pass the red light, learn next time, right? There's a concept of responsibility to knowing, even though you might not know. So, of course, you might not know something, but you can't meet Allah on the day and be like, yeah, Allah, I didn't pray because nobody taught me. I was like, how many years did you? I was like, oh, I got an 87. I went to school, I got 3 PhDs. And you can't, like, that's not a justification. So, if you don't know something, that's okay. But you should always be learning and trying to develop and grow yourself, right? And if you forgot something, that's insan. Human beings forget, and that's a normal part of our existence. But yes, you're not accountable for something. So if you don't know something very particular, like, I don't know, I'm gonna give you an example. Like, I don't know that, the parts that have to be on the floor during sujood. Like, there are several parts that have to be touching the floor when you're in sujood. Like, if I didn't know that my whole life, and I was making a mistake, it's okay. But once you kind of heard about it or you learned about it, then you're responsible from that point on. But there are certain things that you should know. That's why it's important to always learn and grow and develop. Yes? Give me an example. We have 1 minute. How many minutes do we have? Oh, well, 1 minute. Go. 10:09 on my phone.
The right side are people that they glorify sins or things that...
Right side are people that, good deeds. Good deeds.
But why are they on the right side then, if they don't know it's a mistake?
No. So good deed, the right is associated with good deeds. Al-Dalin are the...
Why are they being accountable for things?
Why are they accountable? Because you cannot live ignorance is not an excuse. Right? You cannot live life ignorant and say, hey, I never learned, I never wanted to learn. And that's not the point, because Allah Azza wa Jalla gave us intellect, He gave us a mind and a soul and a heart for us to find purpose, to find direction, to find why we're here. That's the reason why, right? So ignorance is not an excuse. You can't say, oh, I didn't know it was wrong to kill. I didn't know it was wrong to, I didn't know. You can't go to a judge and say, I didn't know. Especially in a very particular court of law. Does that make sense? So you are, of course, human. That's why Iqra came down first. Al-wa'i qabla as-sa'i, famous Arabic quote. You should know before you do. Like, gain understanding and wisdom, Iqra, before. That's why revelation started with Iqra. Because the path of guidance begins with a level of me maturing myself and understanding the world. Right? This is very, very important. Can't bleed ignorance. And you eventually have to learn and grow out of that. Very good. Both of them. Can't know without doing. You can't do without knowing. You have to know and do properly. Know and practice well. And that means, inshallah ta'ala, maintain that momentum. Barakallahu feekum. Jazakallah khair. I hope that was beneficial. Read the story. Read Surah Al-A'raf. I think that's our example. Maybe our homework. Read Surah Al-A'raf. Go through the story, inshallah ta'ala. And next week we'll begin. We're going to say after Maghrib, we're going to recap and finish, inshallah ta'ala, the heart. The science of the heart for 2 weeks. And then, inshallah ta'ala, we'll start a new series and we'll get your feedback on that new series. Barakallahu feekum. Jazakallah khairan. I ask Allah to accept from us. Shawwal. Today is the 17th of Shawwal, by the way. 17th of Shawwal. So you have about 12 more days to fast. The 6 days of Shawwal, 30 days, 30 days of Ramadan, 6 days of Shawwal, about 360. وَالْحَسَنَ بِعَشْرِ أَمْثَالِهَا. So it's as if you fast the whole year. So please remember, if you can, maintain your momentum of fasting the 6 days of Shawwal. You get the reward of the whole year, inshallah. All right? Very good. Barakallahu feekum. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. كيف حالك شيخ؟ شيخ الله كيف؟ الله كيف؟ كيف امورك؟ كنت عارف كنت جيت بدري. كل أربعاء نعم بعد المغرب. كيف حالك؟ ساعة حبيبي شيخ الله ان شاء الله كويسين. الله يبارك فيكم. اعلنا بس we need to do a better job ان شاء الله تعالى.